Alrighty, so I thought I'd make this video because it'd be a bit easier knowing your guys' busy schedule to organise a meeting. So here's a real quick just instructional video on how this sheet works. Basically, here's today's date. Obviously just the today functions in there. And then there's two dates that work out 90 days and 180 days back as you need for your visa. And these are just referenced. They don't actually do anything, but they update automatically, so you should know, it just tells you what date was 90 days or 180 days back from today. This cell is the one you mentioned, so we've got today's date and you guys want to start entering data from 180 days before today. If you want to change this date to another date, say the 29th, the day before, all the other dates will update automatically, so you can do that. However, it won't, or it might make a difference to some of this stuff. So if you do want to change that quite significantly, just let me know and I'll just make sure that the spreadsheet's still working right. But at the moment it's set up for the 30th. Now, I'll go through this in a second, but all these two lines do is they put a 1 or a 0 if you were in an EU country or in a non-EU country. And so they are collected. Obviously if you're in the EU, it puts a 1 in this row. If you weren't in the EU, it puts a 1 down the bottom. And they're just simple equations. So they're literally just counting the cells that have 1s in them for all EU countries, and then for the non-EU ones you're counting down here. So it's always worth keeping an eye on. It's a good sense check. If you're in an EU country and a 1 comes up in the non-EU row, then yeah, there's something funky going on in the spreadsheet. So just let me know. And then with the dates, I've made it so that today's date will illuminate green, so it's easy to find. You can change that to any color you want, so if you want to change it, just let me know. And that's today's date. So if today's date wasn't the 29th of the 3rd, if it was the 30th of the 3rd, 18, it is 18, then that changes obviously. So that's that. Now, this is what you guys are interested in right here. Once you have all the data from 6 months ago in here, you'll get a really accurate idea of how many days you've spent in and out of the EU over those requirements for you being in Denmark. So, and the cool thing about this is it forecasts out the rolling average as well, which was really simple to do. All I did was look at these dates and sum how many 1s you had in that row for the EU. So this is just counting how many days you have in the EU on over a certain time period, and you're just adding all those 1s together. And obviously with just that dummy data in there, you're getting 16 days in the EU and 17 days out of the EU. And then because I don't have any more data in there, it's just diminishing day by day. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see it once you've got all the data in there. If you have any questions, just let me know. When you're planning these out, just chuck a 1 in there and it'll change color. Yeah, if you're there for an extended period of time, you can just click and drag the 1s. Obviously you're not going to have 1s overlapping too much. If you are traveling between the EU and non-EU countries, then they may overlap like this and you may get 2 1s. And we can change that depending on how it's calculated. I'm not too sure, but either way, this thing's going to evolve over time. Get the data in there, we'll work on it from there. And yeah, let me know if you got any questions.